sure how that happened. Technology can play strange games. Anyway, I'm not going to thank you all for coming because you've all come because you wanted to be here, and I really appreciate that. I know that Daphne does too.
Here it is. Yeah.
No, it's not true. Bad luck, everybody. Why not like that? Thanks. All right, no, I'm much happier. Anyway, now you'll see me looking down a lot more than I was going to. Probably not so good. But anyway, I'd like to start by thanking you all on behalf of Daphne for the things that you've done over the years. All of those of you who have known her for a long time, those of you who have known her for a much shorter time. Some have been the very best of neighbours that she could possibly have wished for. And Don is one of those, sitting in the middle here, who did absolutely everything for Daphne and their family. Caroline is another on the end over here. Wonderful people, and Pam in the front. Thank you guys. Some knew her through the clubs that she's participated in, and one lucky person here is Daphne's goddaughter, Rosalie. More recently, you might have known her through the home she loved, Casa Glendale. You have all, one way or another, been a part of Daphne's rich tapestry of life, and she in turn has been a part of yours. Thank you for all you have given to her and her family, for your time, your love, your support, your generosity, and your true friendship. Bonnie, would you like to read your little poem at this point? You can stay sitting there if you like.
This is a poem called Request, and it was written by Daphne. Oh, I search the wide world over, shaken with dark doubts and dull fears, seeking my true love, my darling, brushing back the burning tears. Then you kissed my blind eyes open, and suddenly, to my surprise, I found that you'd always been here, with mischief in your bright blue eyes. One thing more that I wanted to add, and it comes from the Song of Solomon as it relates to a picture that Daphne had painted, and I have a print of it in my room. And in this picture, I looked at it and I thought, what has happened? Because there were lilies growing out of the desert. There was no grass growing anywhere. And I thought, Daphne must have been coming through a very difficult time in her life. And I called her and asked her about this, and she said yes. Jesus had come to visit her when she was in very difficult days. And he extended his hand to her, and he had lilies praising him. And just like it says, he feeds among the lilies, and Daphne is surely one of the lilies of Jesus.
So, almost an incredible 102 years old. Daphne is the last of her generation in our family. But she didn't really like those big numbers because, in fact, she regularly pleaded with me not to advertise it. She said, you get to a certain age and they don't hire you anymore because you might croak on the job. But the obsession with remaining young for that purpose was evidently overwhelming. So I mean, it's one thing to mislead a few chosen people about your age, but you have to admire someone who is so determined that they managed to convince not only their friends, but Social Security and the DMV that they're 14 years younger than they really are. When did this elaborate hoax start? I guess we'll never know, sadly, but I first became aware of my cousin Daphne and her very elegant family in the 60s when I was barely out of single digits. They were referred to at that time in the family as the American cousins. And their visit to our home was tremendously exciting. After all, they lived in Hollywood, and anything American to me was the very best. But it was, of course, many years earlier as teenagers, long before I was even possible, that the girls and their brother Richie travelled to England for the holiday of a lifetime with Aunt May and my granny Dorothy. It was during that time that they got to know their first handsome cousin, my dad. He was just a couple of years older than Daphne at the time, Well, at least until she got a lot younger anyway. The girls had many wonderful adventures in England, including being chased by a bull, acting in a play, going to a high society ball, and being written up in the newspaper. They were even asked to create some stained glass windows for a church in Compton in Surrey. Once back in the States, the girls and their mum led a very social life. With all the clubs Annie, their mum, belonged to, there was always something glamorous going on. During this period, the girls even met the Weissmullers of Tarzan fame, and as they began working in the film industry, many other stars as well. Caroline, would you be so kind as to read your little piece? Thank you.
I think I have to stumble over here.
Go on then.
This is a lovely poem, Christopher Clark.